Trevor fires for the back of the end zone, and that ball is going to be caught for the touchdown by Brian Thomas Jr. What a throw and catch. He tiptoed along the end line. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Fires deep downfield. Got a man. That's Brian Thomas Jr. 50 in the Colts territory. 35, 30, 25, 10, 5. Touchdown, Brian Thomas Jr. Just went 85 yards.
He's a playmaker. That's what stands out to me. It's just not one thing. We all know he's fast. You know, I can't really point to his releases. I can't really point to how he comes out of his routes. He just makes plays.
Looking, steps up, fires to the back of the end zone. Brian Thomas Jr. Did he double catch it? Yes, it is. Touchdown. He bobbled it, but hung on. Brian Thomas Jr. has the score, and Jacksonville is taking the lead.
Yeah, he's only going to get better once he masters his craft as far as his stance off the line and as far as come off the ball. You'll see in games to come, he'll get better, and even next year, he's going to be even that much better than he is right now. Right now, he's just getting his feet wet and showing us what he can do. So I'm looking for this guy to be a big-time playmaker for us in the years to come, and I'm glad to have him part of the Jaguars.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Tom McManus, and Dylan Denmark.
Oh, man. It's 10:02 on this Friday morning. Tom McManus has officially ditched his headset for the day. Had enough already.
It was only coming out of one ear. I'm like, I can't handle it.
That is kind of the bane of headsets, right?
Yeah.
They get those little shorts, and then you hear in one ear. And
yeah.
Let's welcome in. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
How
man.
are you?
I'm great.
You have a good week?
Had a great week. We were up in Chicago.
I saw.
My youngest daughter finished top 10 in the national dance competition
Nice.
she was in. So Harley May,
That
way
is
to go.
unbelievable,
I know. It was
bro.
awesome. And they were up there for 9 days. It was a big, long trip for them. And then we had like a little reunion up there. A lot of both my brothers were up there. My brother's sons, my nephews, and then some old Chicago friends. Man, went to Wrigley. Got this really cool video of the ending of the national anthem and the flyover by the 4 jets. We went to Wrigley on 4th of July, where they hit 8 home runs.
Right. That's
it
what I
was
was saying. You were at that
unbelievable.
game where they set the team record for
It was
home runs.
unbelievable. We were in the bleachers. We ended up ditching our seats and just hanging out in the back, and we had a blast, man. It was absolutely good time. So, yeah, but good to be home. Football's right around the corner. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait.
Let's say hello to young Denmark. Good morning, West Side.
What's up?
How are you?
I'm doing a lot better. I got in the car this morning, and Dan's calling me out for something I didn't do.
Bro, I heard your name. I kid you not. I walked by. I heard Danny was on break. He goes, Denmark. And I walked in. I said, all right, there will be no heresy. You will not speak out against Dylan Denmark on this program. He tried to blast you for not playing the Friday song.
And I played it.
I know. And, well, the thing was, you didn't play it long enough in his estimation, and then E.T. had to jump in and tell him that was on Thursday, and you were doing it above and beyond because you guys weren't on the air on Friday.
Right.
It was July 4th.
Yeah,
So there you go.
I was going to tell him to have to catch me outside. And,
well.
I was going to start the show, have y'all turn your mics on, and we were going to go outside and, do something.
We could do that right now.
Wow.
We get on the spur
Get
of the
the
moment.
gloves on.
Let's
man.
go.
Yes, for charity.
Denmark versus Hicken for
Yes,
charity.
for
For me.
charity.
For me. I just want to see. Are you kidding me? That would be fantastic. Remember the Cash Me Outside girl?
I don't know.
What was that?
my
Dr. Phil?
goodness,
Was that a Dr.
yes.
Phil thing, right? She's on Dr. Phil.
Okay,
and she's all like, basically saying, catch me outside, like, let's go fight if you don't like it. And
right,
she was,
right.
She is now like a multi-millionaire streamer.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't she, Dylan?
Wow.
I think she's got OnlyFans, and she's a rapper.
Well, there you go. And
OnlyFans.
She got it going on.
And she was like a teenager at the time.
Yeah.
It was like super disrespectful, and the Dr. Phil audience is all like tisk tisk and all that kind of stuff. And everybody mocked her for a while, and she
took it
monetized
around.
the hell out of that, man.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I guess good for her.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, if you got to scrap, you got to scrap.
If it's
I
legal.
prefer my lady not to have to scrap.
I prefer my lady not to have to be on OnlyFans. But, that's me, and again,
I was thinking about going on there myself.
I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm not saying it's not legal. I want to see somebody else's lady. I'm kidding, honey. Honey, I'm kidding. All right.
We're getting
Heather usually listens to the last hour of the show.
The rails on a crazy train.
All right, so Speaking of the ladies.
Yes.
You're joining them.
Yes.
Next week,
yes.
all right?
I didn't know if we were going to do that.
Look, don't worry, I got the whole
approval.
pass on this.
Okay, good.
I heard the promo a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Like, well, if it's running on the air, I don't think it's a secret
right.
that Tom McManus is the newest member of Helmets and Heels, which you'll still be here on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
On Jaguars Today. So you do double duty, a little split shift action on Friday.
Yep.
But it'll be you and Lauren Brooks and Taylor Dahl.
Yes.
And it'll go from 2 to 4 with XL Primetime moving up
to the launch date. Yep.
So my question is, now that you're back as a 5-day-a-week broadcaster,
I know
6 shows plus podcast, you do the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
Will you buy yourself a damn headset? will you get your own?
I'm going to get my own headset
that works in both ears.
Yes, I will do that.
Show your dedication.
There you go.
1010 XL.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. No, it's great, man. I'm really looking forward to it. I've done, shows with Lauren and Taylor in the past, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun, and I'm honored, man. I'm flattered and honored and humbled and all that fun stuff. But, it's going to be a good time, man.
Absolutely. It couldn't be a better time because you'll be a week out from training camp.
I know. I know. I can't wait for that to get going.
I mean, we're 12 days from the first open practice for the fans to come out.
No, I know. And then I saw, but they're not in pads to the 28th, I saw.
Right. They're like the first 4-ish open practices are not in full pads.
Right.
And then they go on that Monday. Is it a Monday, I think they go?
The 28th, whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The schedule's out there. I have not committed all the dates to
the 28th would be a Monday.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because it was Monday the 7th.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So the 28th, and they'll be in full pads. And look, I'm not worried about that. I'm sure they've got a plan for all that.
I'm looking for. Look, Tony Baselli said it. Like, we're going to be as physical as the league allows in camp.
Correct.
So I'm looking forward to that. And they got to. I mean, how else do you figure it out if you can't do a little thumping? And it was wild how. Like even last year, like they didn't go full out to like the last practice, like full hitting.
Right.
And you're like, man, how do you get ready? You gotta, we're all creatures of habit. Right? It's like conditioning. You gotta condition. You'll never make it out there. You're gonna pass out. It's the same thing with physicality. You don't just all of a sudden become physical as a team. I think you got to start from the beginning and say, hey, we're gonna be physical. We're gonna start with each other. And then when we go against the opponent, we're going to be really physical against them.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to that.
Mindset. You got to set the tone.
And that's right. I think that's when, these cliches, but you got to love football, right? You got to, we want them to love ball.
Can't be just doing it for the paycheck.
Right. You got to love ball, which means you're competing at the very highest level of yourself, mentally, physically, emotionally. That's what they're saying. Like, you got to love it that much where you're like, I can't wait to get better. I can't wait to play.
You do everything you can for that little bit of improvement.
Right. I can't wait to go to my extra martial arts class. I can't wait to, study film, whatever it is. That kind of love. And I think that's what they're
And there will be times when you don't. Right. When you don't feel that way and you do it anyway.
That's right.
And that's part of being a pro is just doing the things you have to do.
Think about it. 10 months out of the year. That's your contract in the NFL, basically. You go to Super Bowl, maybe it's 10.5.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's a pretty good gig. You know what I mean? I got to work 10 months out of the year, and I just got to give it all that I've got and stay focused and committed and sacrifice for 10 months. You get paid hefty.
Well, that's the thing, because my wife, as a librarian's assistant as a middle school, gets summers off.
Right.
But she doesn't get.
Yeah, they deserve it.
The 7 to 8 figure compensation. Mm-hmm. So,
I'm just saying it's a great gig, right? And they just want those kind of guys. And I think that's what we're going to find out.
All right, well, Tom, here's today's poll question that we've got out there, presented by Chad and Sandy Real Estate. Want folks to weigh in on this. We had Frank Frangie on yesterday. He said a couple of very interesting things, I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get it. But one of the things he said when we were talking about Dyami Brown, he seemed to be hyping him up a little bit. So I asked him, do you think Brown outproduces Travis Hunter? I'm thinking yardage-wise, right? And emphatically, yes, he did. He thinks, Hunter will be a very effective player, but he thinks Brown, it's part of it is Hunter going to play every snap? We don't know, right? We know the desire to make him a full-time two-way player. But the first option in the poll, and this is which is most likely to happen this year, Dyami gets more yards than Hunter. That's option 1. Option 2, Basil Tuten has the most rushing yards on the team. I think it's fair to say, no matter who you think the starter is, and that's another interesting thing Frank talked about. We'll get to that later. Tuten's entering camp at best as the 3. Okay, so Tuten has the most rushing yards. The defense has 18 or more turnovers. I picked that number because it represents double than the league worst 9 that they had last year. I mean,
only had 9?
9. Single digits, horrendous. Whoa. Now, league leaders are like 33. Okay.
Wow.
So 18 is kind of in the middle, but it does represent a massive step forward. And then the last one is the Jags will have 3 players with 10 or more sacks on the season. Ooh. So if I'd gone 2, I think a lot of people would, that's easy.
Well,
We're going to go with our top 2 guys. But and all of these are getting a decent amount of the vote right now. You can vote accordingly. You can let us know your thoughts on that or anything Jaguar related on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines this morning at 641-1010.
Yeah.
Same number for the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You got the YouTube virtual studio with the chat there so you can interact with the program. You can stream us on Facebook and Twitter. And if you want to interact with the poll question today, find us on Twitter at MD_1010XL, at Meathead55, and at 1010XL Denmark.
Catch me outside. How about that?
There you go. There you go. He even caught that with the headset laying on the table, only one ear working. Tommy Mack still got that one loud and
That
clear.
was good.
West Side.
Good.
All right, let's go. We got Hayes Carline going to join us today, embedded 1010XL Jaguar reporter.
Yep.
He will hammer some nails for us, and that's coming up in about 20-ish minutes, 25 minutes. In the meantime, we're going to get into a little bit on Brian Thomas today. We're going to talk Tank Bigsby today. We're going to talk any aspect of Jaguar football that you want to get into out there in the listening audience as well. I got Tommy Mack by my side. Jaguars Today is ready to rip. Fat Tony enjoying his final vacation day of the week. And we are ready to go right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Consider him the captain of your ride home.
Frank Frangie.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
We're on our way to the moon, Fred.
Frank Frangie.
Oh, that man.
Afternoons on 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Hi, I'm Karen, owner of Clay Solar Installation Partners, your local woman-owned solar company. At Clay Solar, we're more than just panels and power. We're about people. We make the switch to clean energy simple, stress-free, and built to last. If you've had a bad experience with solar in the past, we can help. We specialize in dependable solutions and top-notch customer service, so you can finally enjoy the savings and sustainability you deserve. Schedule your free consultation at claysolar.com.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Registration is now open for the Circle K Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament. Over $250,000 in cash and prizes available, with payouts up to 20 places. Of course, there's great prizes for lady anglers, and bring along your junior anglers as well. Register today at kingfishtournament.com. Even if you're not on the water, spectators will enjoy fun exhibits, food, kids' activities, and a fireworks display at the Circle K Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Football season is almost here, so before it arrives, I'm going to get my home organized. Lauren Brooks here. Closets by Design creates custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms or entertainment centers, anywhere that needs to be organized. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off with free installation. Yes, that's 40% off plus an additional 15% off during the month of July. Call 878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Rick Ballou new for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental. With light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, 2 locations in Jacksonville.
Share your voice anytime on the 1010XL text line.
Are you serious? Installed by Lifetime Flooring.
I gotta say, you're totally blowing my mind right now.
If you can't call or email, text us. 641-1010.
Craving a cold one? Well, zip into one of the great gate locations you see all over town and pick up a cold Bud Light, or a Natty, or an Ultra, maybe a 12-pack of the King of Beers, or some cold Coronas. It's all happening at your local gate convenience store. Slide on in today.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
Frank Frangie here for Coil Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports moments. Remember Hal Sutton when he famously said, "Be the right club today"? Well, that's what Coil Fencing delivers. The right fence today. And they've been delivering the right fencing for both commercial and residential properties for nearly 100 years. If you're in the market for a new fence, call Coil & Sons today at 904-356-4821 or visit coiljacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com.
You'll always feel good when you send someone a Kuhn Flowers floral or plant arrangement. This is Max Fink with 1010XL, and no matter what the reason, Kuhn Flowers has always come through for me. Order online at kuhnflowers.com.
Imagine a place where the sun is always shining, the drinks are ice cold, and the food is bursting with flavor. Welcome to Hurricane Grill and Wings, where locals and visitors alike gather to weather this storm we call life. And you can escape here anytime you like. Today's forecast, hot, crispy wings with a 100% chance of frothy beers. Later, we're predicting big burgers and seafood tacos moving in. Escape the ordinary. HurricaneWings.com.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about letting things roll off of your back. So often we can make big deals out of things that are not really big deals. We can allow them to steal the joy of our day. But let me remind you that don't allow anyone or anything to steal the joy of today. Go out today not letting little things steal the big things that God has in store for you.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mac in the Middle, Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. On 1010XL.
All right, here we go. Tommy Mack in with us as he is every Friday. Tony Smith will be back in his seat next Monday, and I'll see him in another 10 days or so, and I'll be back for training camp. I'll be off next week. Yeah.
Okay.
So
summertime.
Little downtime.
Yeah.
I got my final full week. I'm going to take a couple days in August, stretch out Labor Day weekend because there's no game, no preseason that weekend. And I got a little bit left in the tank, but it's going to be a sprinkling in August and then the bye week. And then that's it. And that's fine, man. Again, we're not laying bricks here,
That's right.
We can show up and talk, run our mouths every single day. And Tommy will be doing that now 5 days a week.
Working on our tan out while we watch.
I'm working on not getting burned mostly.
You got to wear the sunscreen
but
for sure.
I definitely go hard on the sunscreen.
Yeah,
but,
you're going to sweat. At least I do.
Brother, I went to the range yesterday for about an hour.
Yeah.
And the walk back to the car was like, damn, man, I'm old.
Good way to sweat some stuff out.
It is hot out there right now. All right. What's hot is the phone line. So let's check in on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines today. If you want to get in at 641-1010, we welcome you. We got Mac up in Delaware. He's always tweeting at us. So let's find out what's on his mind this morning. Good morning, Mac.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, good morning, Tom. How are you?
What's up, Mac? Doing great, man.
Oh, man, you know what? Congratulations on the new gig, man.
I appreciate that.
I'm up here in Delaware, man. I listen to you guys all the time, and I love the Jaguars.
Awesome.
I had a question for you, and I had a couple other little things. First of all, the national media doesn't like us at all. So I'm not even worried about what they think. And, you know, all the questions about Travis or Trevor, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. You know, I think this team is going to be really, really good. So, you know what? Hey, I'm just worried and concentrating on what they are going to do on the field. Not worried about anything else.
Yep.
Tom, the question I wanted to ask you was, you know, you're a linebacker. When you go to training camp and all, what do you see? What do you look for? Do you look for footwork? Do you look for technique? What do you look for? What is it that you look for? And one other thing I want to tell my man Mike, Mike, you're a good dude, but man, you ain't no dummy or nothing like that. Like, you don't even worry about what the people say. I like listening to you guys. You guys are great, and like I said, this is our team.
All right, Mac.
Thanks, Mac.
I had no idea. I felt like there's a major butt coming there, right? Did you not?
Yeah.
You were setting me up. I appreciate that, Mac. What about it, Tommy, when you're looking at linebackers?
Listen, when I look at linebackers, practice or games, I want to who's around the ball. You know, who gets to the ball. Now, then, as far as what they do when they get to the ball, that's going to depend on what kind of practice they're running, right? Are they thumping or not? If they're not thumping, it's hard to tell until they get into a game-like situation. But it's more movement. It's more instinct. It's more like not being fooled on play-action pass, you know, reading the right run read, being around the ball all the time. I mean, if your linebackers aren't around the football, they're not doing their job. So that's what I look for first and foremost. Like, how are their instincts? How do they take on blocks? Like, look, I was next to, I think, Joe C. We're in the end zone. And Kaiser ran a blitz, right? Now, they're not in pads, but they had their helmets on, obviously. And Sal Wormley gave him a handed shove to the chest and, like, knocked him to the ground. I mean, like, off his feet knocked him to the ground. He got up right away. It was I was like, wow, that's some power from that young man. And but, you know, you got to see, like, can he thump? You know, can he thump against when Sal Wormley comes out on a block? This guy's 330 pounds, played at Penn State, right?
Sure.
He's one of my bubble guys. I'm keeping an eye on.
That's a big guy
He's
now.
Yeah, well, that's who
I got you. That's who you got to take. But could it have been, I don't remember that rep. Could it have been a case where Kaiser got caught a little off guard because it's a non-padded practice and maybe wasn't expecting that level?
He was moving pretty fast towards the line of scrimmage.
Right.
You know, they're not full speed. But anyway, my point is, can he make that transition? You know, we don't know yet. And again, back to what kind of practice. And I'm holding this up to my ear. What kind of practice? What kind of practice are we running? You know, is it thumping time? You know, when it's inside run drill, are we coming off that ball and really thumping the backers and vice versa and hitting the backs? Not to the ground. You're not going to take them to the ground, but, you know, that you're there making that play. So I think that's the biggest thing. You know, can they get off blocks? Are they around the ball? Obviously, they got to be able to run. You know, the speed kills in this league. So I look for all that kind of stuff.
A couple of things. One, on the text line, it's not that the national media does not like Jacksonville. It's that the national media tells the truth about Jacksonville. As on the text line, look, I was thinking about this morning, okay? I predicted we went game by game. I think I had the Jags at 8-9, right? Which I don't think is outrageous.
Yeah.
Again, they lost 10 one-score games. Can they win some of those, maintain the, you know, obviously circumstances are going to be different. There's so many factors that go into it. But I do try to be level-headed about it.
Yep.
But at the same time, I don't want to necessarily, like, you could go, this team won 4 games. Here's all the reasons why they're going to suck again, right? And we know what that nothing is going to be handed to you in the NFL. And a lot of things have to go right for this team to get back to being a contender in the AFC South. But do I want to spend half the year just dwelling on that. I would rather try to be objective, but at least put conversations out there about why it could be better than it has been, right? Here's why it could be good. Because if it does suck, it's going to hit us and we're going to live with it for a 5-month period. It's just going to be, and that's going to be the reality. So why live in misery 24/7, 12 months out of the year? You know what I mean? Like, I do think there is some of that, Jaguar fans feel like the media hates us. No, some of it is. The media is just like, no, we don't care. There's no favorite sons here. We're going to rip you because you deserve being ripped. I think there is an aspect of that, but I don't think it's as extreme on either end as the people who are on either end think it is.
Yeah, I mean, look, you got to win for them to love you, and you got to have, your star players, play like stars, consistently. Listen, I mean, you look at the top 10, it doesn't mean anything, but, Josh Hines Allen should be in the top 10. I mean, you're paid like a top 3 or top 4 or whatever, man. You got to, is that they just don't like him? Or is it based off of last year wasn't nearly as good as the year before?
And you can point to, pressures and all this. And I'm sorry, but
they're all down.
People are all going to look at sacks. Right. Okay, that's what you're going to look at from a defensive end. And the elite guys that are ranking ahead of him. Now, some of them, like Jared Verse, got in the top 10. He had like 3.5 sacks as a rookie, maybe 4.5.
Right.
And he's played 1 year in the league.
Right. So
there is a little bit of
there is.
New shiny toy, big market, all this stuff, I think, that are and people like to get ahead of the curve as well.
Listen, I think when we say, well, he did this in pressures, that's just like a make you feel better piece. You know what I mean? And look, from 23 to 24, pressures were down. QB hits were down. His sacks were down. So I can see him being out of the top 10 because of that. He could jump back in with a really good year, But I don't know. Is Trevor going to be in that top 10? I don't think so. But, man, our owner paid these two guys like they're top 5. You know what I mean? Like, again, a year can change it all on how you're perceived. Maybe, quarterback, you need more than 1 year, but to stay in that top 10 ranking. But, yeah, man, I don't know. I don't think the media, they didn't hate us back in the 90s.
Right.
Somebody said back in the 90s.
National media, are you kidding? They had us moving to L.A., London, wherever else they could. Is that because they hate us or because they don't care? It's not like, why do they hate Jacksonville? I don't think they hate them. I just think they're just like, whatever. I do think there is some out of sight, out of mind where Jacksonville doesn't always get the credit. It takes longer, to make the Pro Bowl here than it would in a bigger market, for instance.
When Shad Khan bought the team, and then when they started playing in London, first it was 1 game, then it was 2. I mean, I was thinking
it was going to be anyway.
He could. Maybe the NFL does want a team in London. Maybe he is that perfect owner because he's an international businessman. He's got, maybe so. Maybe they play it both. Maybe there's, you know what I mean? It's not that way because of the way it is, and maybe that was never the plan. But the perception was, well, wait a minute. Why are they going to London? Why are they the only team doing it in the beginning? I'm talking, what was that, 10 years ago or whatever?
More than that.
Yeah, so when it first started, I felt that. I was like, man, is he going to move this team to London? Or first of all, the league's got to want a team to move to London before anybody moves anywhere.
But along with that, the league kind of sent out kind of mixed signals. Yeah, we're interested, and because they're never going to say no,
right?
Because they want that buzz, even if it's just for nothing other than that. And they also wanted that carrot of, well, hey, step up and pay this money as a municipality, or we might go somewhere else.
Right. And it becomes that speculation. So national media, they're not doing a deep dive into it. They're just seeing what they see, and they're like, oh, wow, maybe, you know what? Maybe Shad Khan is going to do it. So then to me, that's how it all started. And then you're losing, and then the tickets, and then the covering of the, all the everything.
You know what? None of it matters anymore.
No, it doesn't.
None of that matters anymore. Totally. So let's move beyond it, right? We got sucked into that whirlpool a little bit.
Yeah. But my point, I don't feel like they hate us. I don't. You win. You get guys that go to the Pro Bowl. Yeah, more nationally televised games.
If the Jags win, Travis Hunter is going to be one of the league's darlings if he is a significant factor in that.
And he will be going in. We're going to get more national coverage because he's on our team.
Anyway,
starting.
That whole thing. We're going to
win, baby.
We're going to move forward. Hayes Carline going to join us, and you and I are going to get in a next hour focusing on what we expect out of some players this year, and however they perceive it, let them perceive it that way.
That's right.
Because if the Jags stack up 10, 11 wins, we're going to the playoffs, regardless of how they feel about us.
That's right.
And it doesn't matter at that point in time.
Win and everybody wins.
Tom McManus is here. Dylan Denmark. I'm Mike Dempsey. Tony Smith with the week off. Hayes Carline, the Hammer, joins us next on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, owned and operated locally here by the Thompson family since way back, and get this, 1956, back when sandwiches were sold out of beer flats on the counter, unrefrigerated, right there by the register. 25 cents for a ham and cheese. Sounds good, right? Of course, a lot has changed since then, but one thing that hasn't changed is Dandy's commitment to making quality sandwiches for their customers, whether it's a classic Cuban made with authentic Cuban bread or maybe a delicious home-style cranberry chicken salad. Dandy has something for everyone, and it's fast, fresh, and waiting for you in the cold case at convenience stores all over town. You'll find them at all daily stores with a wide selection to choose from. And after 10 years of talking about these guys, I could probably recite the whole lineup of what they got. But it's still the perfect go-to, Dandy is, when you're in a hurry and you don't want the hassle of a long wait. So the next time you're out and about in Duval and your stomach's growling, do what I do. Go out and make yours a Dandy and do it today.
Jaguars Today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Superior products, exceptional service. The past comes to life in the present.
And the Jaguars are going to the playoffs.
The memories bridge the gap to the future.
From 27-0 to win the game.
Experience the most play-by-play sports on 1010XL.
Joe C. for Hard Rock Bet, where things are heating up big time for the boys of summer. Download the Hard Rock Bet app right now and swing for the fences with your favorite baseball team. And the best odds at Hard Rock Bet. And don't forget, new customers who bet $5 get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Easy to navigate, play to win. Head to Hard Rock Bet right now with odds on every sport waiting for you. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
They were right. It could have waited. I can't believe it happened to me. Reaching to check my phone. Now my family has to hear that I'm never coming home again.
Officer?
I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
Every day, 9 people on Florida roadways don't make it home. I was one of the people that didn't make it home.
Ride with Do Not Disturb. Every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
Here's Linda Beaver.
The dog days of summer are here, and so are the hottest deals of the year. Whether you're hauling down the street, cruising on the beach, or just escaping the heat, we have the ride you're looking for and the wow you experience you deserve. Save big on select models with sizzling summer savings, low financing, and limited time bonus cash on all trades. So don't sweat it. Come beat the heat at Beaver Automotive, where the summer deals will wow you.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
It's Christmas in July at Beard's Diamonds. Why not celebrate your anniversary with a stunning eternity band or a pair of diamond stud earrings? Buy now and get up to 40% off. Don't miss this annual event. Best prices of the year store-wide. And remember, Beard's Diamonds is your local jeweler with over 4 decades of delivering the best value, the best quality, and the best overall experience. With no commission salespeople, no corporate sales quotas, and no nonsense pricing. Beard's Diamonds at the shops at Town Center. Shop local. Shop Beards.
Put the ball in the net with 60 minutes of soccer talk. The Coaches Show presented by Sporting Jacks. Cole Pepper, Sporting Jacks head of soccer Mark Warburton, and Sporting Jacks women's coach Stacey Baylor. Tuesday evenings at 6 on 1010 a.m.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys Locksmith Service.
Coming soon, Pine Royale, a fully illuminated synthetic par 3 course built for day or night play. Plus a driving range with TrackMan Tech for virtual courses and interactive games. Mini golf, restaurant, and bar all in one place. Whether you're a serious golfer or just here for good vibes and great food, Pine Royale brings fun nonstop. Smash a burger, a bucket of balls, and even a night round under the lights. Grab your clubs, your crew, and your short game. Pine Royale is coming soon off I-295. Learn more at pineroyale.cc.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece.
You can't touch this.
Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service on 1010XL.
All right, hammer time, Tommy. Yeah. No better way to head into vacation than to get the word from the hammer.
That's right.
Himself. Embedded reporter for the Jacksonville Jaguars for 1010XL, Mr. Hayes Carline. Hear him every weekday on the Frangie Show. Hayes, good morning, sir.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you all?
Fantastic, man. What are you trying to? What do you personally? This is a step away from the Jaguars. Hayes Carline, the man. What do you want to do? Is there anything on your to-do list before training camp opens up? Whether it's fun or I got to get this done before the grind gets here. Like, what's on the agenda for you over the next 10-ish days?
Well, I haven't slept in 4 days because I'm so excited for camp to open. So hopefully I'll get some sleep. But
you and Hacker.
But yeah, we're my wife and I are heading to Boston this weekend.
Nice.
So that'll be fun. We'll be up there for a few days, and then I'm gonna hope to slide down to a couple of the water parks with the kiddos before camp begins. So yeah, we've got some things we're trying to pack in here at the end before business picks up for hopefully 6-7 months.
Hammer, great to talk to you, my man. Always a pleasure. How you feeling about the physicality going into camp? That's a big one for me. I know what Tony Baselli said, they're going to take it as far as they can as the league allows. But what do you expect? And are we going to see some thumping early on once they get the pads on under Liam Cohen?
I think so. I mean, obviously, it's a great question, and it's one of the key storylines is, you want to be healthy week one, but you also have to be ready. And I would be surprised if it is not about as physical a camp as you can have under the current CBA. So, yeah, I would anticipate that you will see a lot of that. I think a tone needs to be set. This has been a finesse team for the last few years, and there's only one way to get out of that. You got to hit your way out of that. If you want to build that identity, you've got to hit. And, yeah, that's going to increase the chance of some injuries. But, look, if you're healthy at week one, but you haven't built that identity, you don't have any chance anyway. I mean, we've seen that play out. If you want to run the ball, if you want to stop the run, you've got to hit in camp. So I would absolutely anticipate with Physicality providing the guidance of what's been lacking here and his mentality, I would absolutely anticipate we're going to see some thumping starting that July 28th first padded practice and beyond it. I mean, they'll be smart and try and protect guys as best they can, but I would be surprised if among the 32 clubs, if the Jaguars don't have as much contact as anybody else.
Hayes, it starts with the offensive line if you want to push people around in the running game. Obviously, when you look at the presumptive starters, Walker Little, as of right now, Walker Little, Ezra Cleveland, Hainsey, Makari, Anton, prioritize them kind of in order who you think has the most job security.
I'd say Makari, Hainsey, Harrison, Little, and Cleveland. And Cleveland, to me, is by far last. If Cleveland's the week 1 starter, I'll be very disappointed.
Yeah.
It needs to be Wyatt Milam.
Well, I think that's why they drafted
If they've made the right pick, Wyatt Milam should be the starting left guard.
Wow. I thought Ezra played pretty decent towards the end of the year, and I thought he got a little physical. I think he's going to give Wyatt a run for his money, but you got to, hey, it's their guy. I mean, they're rebuilding this team. I mean, how many new players have they brought on? They want those guys to be their starters or at least heavily contributed. What about Edoga? Do you think he cracks it at all? I think he's got a shot, maybe. What do you think, Hayes, as far as the start lineup?
Yeah, I think he's got a shot because Little and Harrison are inconsistent, and we know Harrison kind of comes into training camp in a bit of the doghouse. So yeah, I mean, I think if those young players are going to leave the door open, then one of these veteran guys that they've brought in could certainly, take advantage of that opportunity. So yeah, I mean, I don't think that's where it will end up, but I certainly don't think that Little and Harrison have their positions locked down.
Hayes, this morning, Dan Hicken was talking about where we'll find Trevor. Like, what will the consensus be on him after the 2025 season? The way he put it, what's most likely? Would he be a top 5 quarterback, a 6 through 12 quarterback, a 13 through 19, or a 20 through 32? Not talking about how we feel about him, just kind of what the consensus out there of NFL observers. What is the most likely range for him to fall in your opinion?
Yeah, I went with the second option. I think somewhere between 6 and 13 is where I expect Trevor Lawrence to come in. And, I think he can, in his second year with Liam, I think he can climb, a bit higher than that. I've sort of given up on Trevor Lawrence ever being like a top 5 quarterback in this league. I think the play is just so elite at that position when you talk about the best in the league that are doing it. So, I mean, who's he going to knock out of that? I just don't see it happening. But can he be somewhere between, 6 and 8? Yeah, and if he does that, he'll be a very good starting quarterback. So I do think that, the first year, it's always – you're going to have some rocky moments because they've got to get used to, playing together. And I still have some doubts about, Trevor Lawrence's instincts in game. Baker Mayfield's are way more advanced than Trevor Lawrence in that regard, just in terms of how to manage a game, not making mental errors that, situational errors that NFL quarterbacks don't tend to make. That's still an issue for Trevor. So I think that'll hold him back a bit, but he's got unbelievable talent. I like the weapons. He's got better coaching now, I believe. And, so I expect a really good year, but I would put it more in the 6 to 12 range than anything else. I'll be surprised if he has a disappointing year. Barring injury, I would be really surprised if Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen aren't a really good match.
What makes you say that? I'm not disagreeing with you, Hayes, but what is Liam Cohen going to do for Trevor Lawrence? Get the ball out quicker, make him see the field better. Like, the mistakes that he's made in the mental part, you're dead on. He does have tremendous talent, but he makes mistakes at the wrong time, not seeing the field, game management, whatever. But what makes you say that Liam Cohen's going to get all that figured out for him?
I think Liam Cohen doesn't have maybe the arrogance of you're going to do it my way. I think Liam Cohen is a little bit more adaptive to his quarterback. And I think Liam Cohen recognizes Trevor's weaknesses to this point. So I think he's going to emphasize yards after catch, high completion percentage, things that, can help Trevor generate some yardage, just by a quick pass where the receiver makes the play and picks up some nice yardage. So I don't think you're going to see, a ton of, hey, take 5 steps and survey the field and get to your 4th progression. Trevor Lawrence isn't there. I mean, I don't think. Yeah. So, I think I think Liam Cohen is going to use what Trevor does well. And he does enough well that I don't think it handicaps you as a play caller. You just can't get to everything. But I still think you can get to certainly enough for Trevor Lawrence to be very effective in the offense. But, Liam Cohen's talked about it. James Gladstone has all the phrases, intangibly rich, ecosystem, all that stuff. Well, one phrase that Liam Cohen has brought up many times in talking about the football team in general is situational masters. Well, his quarterback's got to become that. Mm-hmm. And I do think Liam Cohen has a plan to make that happen. It will take time because Trevor's instincts are still very raw for, how long he's been an NFL quarterback. But he's still a very young man because he was only in college for 3 years. So I do think that, Trevor wants to learn. I don't think there's going to be resistance. I think he's incredibly coachable. Yep. And I do think that Liam Cohen is going to get the best out of him.
Hey, it's Carline here with us for a few more minutes. Hayes, swing it over to the defense. Pathetic 9 turnovers produced last year. Every coordinator who gets hired on that side talks about we're going to be more aggressive, attacking. Literally every single one, right? So, yes, we want to be more aggressive. We want to attack more. But how much hope do you have that the Jags can make a significant improvement in that category?
I think they can. Again, in the NFL, not everything's going to go your way, but I like the talent. I think that the guys are in better position. They're in better condition. I don't think this staff, at least to this point, from what I've seen, has done anything to handicap themselves like Ryan Nielsen did last year in his lone year as coordinator. So I think the guys are in the right shape for them. They've allowed the players to get to the body weight that they feel the most comfortable with. And again, if just looking at the core players that you have on defense, obviously you love your edge rushers. You hope with Armstead moving inside that he and Mason Smith and Devon Hamilton can form a nice trio there. Obviously, Aluakon is a great communicator. You like what you have there. Maybe Devin Lloyd gives you something in a contract year. Obviously, you've got some young linebackers that you guys have already talked about. And, and Tyson Campbell, you hope, can stay healthy. If he can, I think he's maybe not an elite corner, but I think he's a high-level corner in the NFL. And I think Travis Hunter is going to be superb. So, you worry about safety and things like that. And obviously, you worry about attrition. But I don't think it's from a talent standpoint. I don't think Anthony Campanile is having to try and take poor talent and produce an average defense. I think he probably has maybe average to above average talent, and you hope that, he's able to produce, a good defense with that. So I think the goal should be, can they finish, just somewhere between 14 and 18 in most significant defensive categories, which isn't fantastic, but if they could just be average on defense with what I think they might be on offense, then I think they have a chance to win the division.
Hey, so who are the starting safeties going in, and who are the starting safeties at the end of the year? Who are they going to be?
I would say Murray will be a starter for sure. So the other spot is open, and I hope it's Caleb Branshaw. Or again, that would be a pick that'd be hard to justify. So I would think it'll be Murray and Ransaw. But Ransaw's got, he needs to have a good camp. He's got to prove that he knows his assignments and things like that. So I think as I look at safety now, I think it'll end up being Murray and Ransaw. They've got a lot of guys that I think are just adequate, Wingard and Savage and Antonio Johnson. Wingard is a nice player because mentally he's not going to make mistakes.
Right.
But obviously he's got some limited athletic upside compared to a guy like Ransaw. So it might be Wingard to start the year. A lot of that will depend on Ransaw, but I'd like to think that it'll be Murray and Ransaw out there for week 1.
All right, Hammer, enjoy your downtime in Boston and at the many water parks and all that good stuff. And, hit the flumes and the Raging Rapids and whatever else.
The Black Rose up in Boston.
Is that right?
Hit the Black Rose.
Okay.
Faneuil Hall.
Yeah. That doesn't sound like a water park.
It's a watering hole. I thought that's what we were talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm with you, Tom.
Water park, water hole. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it. Always great being on with you guys, and hope you guys have a great rest of your summer as well.
And likewise, buddy. We'll see you out at camp. Thanks, Hayes.
All right, sounds great. Thank you.
All right,
guys.
you find Hayes on Twitter at Hayes Carline, Carlyon, and he'll be on the Frangie Show today, taking off next week as well. So, somebody asked about this, and think about this, and we'll let you get into it when we come back. Because Hayes brought up Foye Oluokun, or at least mentioned him. Somebody asked your assessment of Foye. They feel like Foye is a guy, he makes a lot of tackles, but they aren't necessarily all attacking the line of scrimmage. That, it sounds like he thinks he's a compiler. So your thoughts on Foye and how highly he should be regarded and all that stuff when we come back. We want to get into Tank Bigsby. We want to get into Brian Thomas Jr. and a whole lot more. Hour 2 coming your way. So you can be a part of it. 641-1010 on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines. Tom McManus is here. Mike Dempsey, Dylan Denmark on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. We're connected by a common bond.
We're all lemons. We look like everybody else, but what makes us different is our defect.
We're obsessed with sports.
You're absolutely right.
1010XL.
It don't get no better than this.
Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Call 904-500-COOL. Ideal Conditions.
Want to support a locally and veteran-owned company? If you need a new AC, we should be your first and only call. Ideal Conditions keeps you cool. Just ask your AC. Call 904-500-COOL or visit idealconditionsjacks.com.
Call 904-500-COOL.
Honk if you see us. Call for service.
Ideal Conditions.
Idealconditionsjacks.com.
Tired of high energy bills? Well, replace those inefficient windows and patio doors now. Don't miss Renewal by Anderson's summer sale. Buy 4 windows or doors and get the 5th one free. No money down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months, but this offer expires July 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Looking for an exciting, fun-filled evening the whole family can enjoy? Discover the thrill of indoor football. It's fast-paced, action-packed, and full of family fun. It's a battle for the playoffs as your Sharks take on the San Antonio Gunslingers. This Saturday, July 12th at 5-Star Veterans Memorial Arena. Kickoff at 7. Ask about the new 4-packs, 4 tickets, 4 food vouchers, and a $20 gift card. All for only $100. Get tickets at jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700.
Prosser here. The Sharks smell the playoffs in the water. It's Rock and Roll Night presented by Dick Swings. Dress up as your favorite rock star for a chance to win a prize or join us on the field after the game for our free autograph session sponsored by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. Ask about our new 4-pack, 4 tickets, 4 food vouchers, and a $20 gift card, all for only $100. Tickets start at just $15. To get yours, call 904-621-0700. That's 904-621-0700. Sharks football, where memories are made.
Vegas, 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 baby.
Vegas, baby. Helmets and Heels is back at Circa Resort and Casino with 2 epic pro football contests, Circa Million and Circa Survivor. Here's the scoop. In Circa Million, pick 5 games against the spread each week for quarterly prizes and a $1 million grand prize for the season winner. Then there's the legendary Circa Survivor. One pick a week, no spread. Last one standing wins a guaranteed $15 million. Must enter in Nevada, then play from anywhere. Visit circasports.com for all the details.
Plus, sign up for either contest and score 50% off a 2-night stay at Circa Resort and Casino. You can even join the ultimate football kickoff with Helmets and Heels in Vegas, August 21st and 22nd while you enter. Book your stay at Circa now and chase $21 million in guaranteed prizes. No rake. For full contest details, check out 1010XL.com/Vegas. Vegas, baby.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Okay, for this Cannons of Jacksonville commercial, we need an idea to really come out with a bang.
Like having a guy shot out of a cannon.
Nah, too messy. In fact, Cannons is known for all your towing needs.
So like my car won't start.
No. Towing products. Cannons does custom welding fabrication and installation of trailer hitches, goosenecks, tow bars, truck racks.
So you might say Cannons is my best shot at finding that inventory in stock?
Boom. You said it.
Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, Hicken here, and you know I'm going to talk about skin. Yeah, it's hot outside, folks. The oven is on. Temps are in the 90s, and it's only getting hotter. I love the summer, but my skin doesn't. I do my best with dry-fit shirts, big floppy hats, plenty of water. My secret weapon, though, the sunscreen. I use it regularly. Maybe you should as well. Look, I've also been seeing docs at Peaches Dermatology for years, and my skin thanks me for it. I'm telling you, it could save your life. Book your appointment today at peachesdermatology.com.
Hey, Jacksonville, need a fence and ready to save? At Superior Fence and Rail, you'll lock in 5% off your fence project when you sign by the end of July. A limited time offer for savings and peace of mind this summer. Now accepting appointments for a free estimate. So act fast and get 5% off your entire fence project when you finalize by July 31st. Cannot be combined with other offers. New contracts only.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
This is your local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Southern Oak Insurance. Florida State will face UMass on Saturday, December 13th, 2025, in the 31st Annual Auto Nation Orange Bowl Classic in Sunrise, Florida. It marks the third time the two teams will meet in the Orange Bowl Classic, as the Noles took a 60-55 win over the Minutemen in 2013. Florida basketball will be playing George Washington in the Orange Bowl Classic, as both games are played as part of a doubleheader. The time of the game and the television designation will be announced at a later date. Florida Gators football, Caleb Banks, DJ Lagway, and Jake Slaughter will represent the orange and blue at this year's SEC Media Days, along with head coach Billy Napier in Atlanta. Media Days will take place over a 4-day stretch at the College Football Hall of Fame. Right now, 87 degrees at 10:58. Time in 10, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Tom McManus.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service on 1010XL.
All right, Tommy, before we get into Foyer, on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosure, somebody took some umbrage with Hayes Carline saying, look, I think the ship has sailed on Trevor being a top 5 quarterback. Right? And when you look at the landscape right now, I think the clear top 4 for people, I'm not listing them in any particular order: Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. Right? Yeah. You can argue Jalen Hurts is the next guy. Maybe you have an argument for some other guys in there. Okay. So he says on the text line, Trevor's the same age as Tyler Shuck. Actually, he's younger. Tyler Shuck will turn 26 in September. Wow. Okay. So that take that Trevor being a top 5 quarterback that the ship has sailed might be Hayes' worst take of all time. And he was so psyched for Urban Meyer. So he's saying, even with that on his resume, then he followed up with Geno Smith was done. Josh Allen had a terrible completion percentage. The idea that a player can't improve after 4 years is laughable. Here's where I take umbrage. Don't move the goalposts.
Right.
Hayes didn't say he can't improve.
Right.
Nobody has ever or will ever think Geno Smith is a top 5 quarterback. Did he significantly improve? Yes, but he's nowhere near the top 5.
Right.
By this time, Josh Allen. Wrong Josh Allen. I threw the Hines in there and everything. Josh Allen's 3rd year in the league.
Yeah.
He didn't have a terrible completion percentage. He completed nearly 70% of his passes, and he threw 37 touchdowns. He was a superstar by his 3rd year. Trevor's going into year 5.
Right.
So, look, that's Hayes' opinion. And at no point did he say that Trevor can't get better.
Right.
I think we all expect and demand improvement, as people that want the best for the Jaguars. But I have a hard time seeing Trevor Lawrence being considered a top 5 quarterback. Not that I'm not going to say the ship has completely sailed, but I understand where Hayes is coming from. 4 years into the league, you've not shown signs. Can you get better? Yes. Yeah. Is it likely you're going to be considered widespread as a top 5 signal caller in the league? I don't think it's likely.
Right. And look, there are late bloomers at that position.
Sure.
We know that. Geno, remember Rich Gannon?
Rich Gannon won an MVP at 37 years old, right? And he's a great example that it is possible.
Right.
But that's the one. That's one.
One out of how many? Right.
Remember Rich Gannon?
Right.
Okay. Sure.
Right. So you can get better. He's got, look, I feel like it's ad nauseum because we know he's got the physical tools, Trevor. He's got them all. And they're elite. And he's tough. He's a physically and mentally tough guy. But there's been something missing with seeing the field, going from 1 to 2, 2 to 3. Now, granted, he hasn't always had time. You go back to 2022, Mike, in Doug's first year. He had a great year, right? And what was that? Everybody was open, and he just delivered the ball, and 25 touchdowns, 8 picks. Was one of it, and we thought he was going to take that trajectory like Josh Allen, didn't we? Kind of similar game. I mean, he's not as big as Josh as far as size, shoulder size, and he's tall as Josh, but he's not as thick, so to speak. But he has similar type game, we thought. And then they kind of figured him out. And then he got hurt, so there's other factors in there. But look, after 4 years, you're either a superstar or you're not. Can you grow into one? Yeah, you could. Anything can happen.
I think you can grow into a perennial Pro Bowler. You can grow into a lot. Again, top 5 is such an elite cream of the crop group. And when you think about it, and Hick mentioned this morning, all those guys, all AFC guys. Yeah. The path to the Lombardi goes through at least 2 of them.
Yeah.
Right? Probably in every postseason.
And the top 4 and even 5 that you mentioned, they're superstars. You can't deny.
They're
superstars. And Trevor's just not that. But guess what? He doesn't have to be. And I know everybody wants him to be because he was the first pick overall. And Jacksonville fan, we want this so bad. And look, he doesn't have to be top 5. He just has to be consistent. If he's consistent with his play, consistently good with his play, they can win a lot of ball games. There's no doubt about it.
Look, we'd all love for Trevor to be the best quarterback in the National Football League. Hayes has given his opinion. I appreciate it. And look, we appreciate yours as well. And we're going to agree on some, disagree on others.
That's right.
Foye Oluokun.
Yeah.
Let's get to him. So what do you see when you watch Foye? Do you think that the numbers reflect his impact on the game, or is he a stat stuffer because he's getting guys 7 yards downfield?
Well, look, a lot of times when you're you're chasing guys down, down the field, they're gaining yards. Your D line's typically in your lap, they're not helping you out at all. I think Foye Oluokun is a very, very good linebacker. They should blitz him more. He's a good blitzer. He's good in coverage. Let's not forget it was a couple years ago, but the pick for 6, like he's made splash plays. I think he can make more. So no, I don't think he's. I know what you're talking about. Look, you make a lot of tackles and they're downfield. It's not that impressive.
You're
All
not
it means
impacting the game.
It just
that
means
much.
you hustle.
Yeah.
And you can run fast.
Which is good. But
yeah. That's not your job.
Doesn't make you Ray Lewis.
No, that's not your job. But now, great point. Ray Lewis was covered up.
Absolutely, right.
So
Huge
he had
defensive
massive
tackles.
guys. Yeah, so he could roam. Look, every linebacker, middle linebacker, would love a free lane to the running back at almost every play. All you got to do is go hit the running back. I don't got to take on that guard and center. I got 2 big guys in front of me that are eating them all up, and they barely touch me. Yeah, everybody would like that. But that, you got to have those players up front to do that. We haven't had those players. We haven't had stout defensive tackle play in a long time, probably since Calais when he was here, right? And we need to get back to that. I do think Eric Armstead moving inside, I do think he can be a top 10 defensive tackle. I do. I think he's that kind of player if he wants to be. On the other side, look, I'm willing to give Devon Hamilton the benefit of the doubt. I don't really see what they see right now. I think Mason Smith is the guy. I want to see him out there more than I want to see anybody else.
Let me interrupt you, though. On Devon, do we know what they see right now? Because they didn't extend him. This is a new regime.
No, I know, but he keeps going out with the first team.
Okay.
He keeps,
what are your options, though? Like, do you see Mason Smith? I feel like we mostly agree that Mason Smith profiles more as a 3 technique, more similar to Eric Armstead. So do you see those guys playing in tandem together?
Well, think about it. Like 30% you're in base. The rest you're in nickel or dime. So there's not a whole lot of shading over the nose in nickel. There's some, but not a ton, right? You're just 2 inside guys working on the guard, or maybe you slide in to work on the inside shoulder of the guard, that kind of thing. So having a true nose, now if you're playing a 3-4, that's different. And neither one of those guys are a 3-4 nose. I don't think Devon Hamilton's a nose. Devon, listen, I loved him coming out of college, and I know he had the injury, the illness, and all that. He's had a full year. To me, he would make some plays, and then he'd get pushed down the field way too much. So did Ledbetter. So did Lacey. It's tough to play linebacker when they're in your lap. I'm just telling you right now. It's tough to see around those big guys. You got to guess where the back is half the time because you don't really know because you can't see them. You're not able to really read and react and go get them. So, hopefully they shore that up. I do think, I know Hayes mentioned it, but I think moving Eric inside is going to be humongous for this defense. Absolutely humongous. And I'm looking forward to it. I'd love to play linebacker with him and Mason Smith. That'd be a fun Can you imagine behind Marcus Stroud and John Henderson? Oh, my God. And Mo P was great. He was a phenomenal backer. Paz, another phenomenal. Darryl. I mean, just great backers. But, without those linemen helping you out, you can. It's like a running back with a bad O-line. He could be the best back in the world. If he's got a bad O-line, he ain't going nowhere. It's kind of the same thing for a middle linebacker.
Who are those Ravens defensive tackles, Tommy?
It was Saragusa, and it was Adams.
Yeah, Sam Adams.
Big Sam Adams.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I met Tony. He was a good dude, man.
So have I.
God rest his soul,
He did a few visits on Radio Row back in the
right.
day.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
All that. They absolutely, it was run and hunt for Ray Lewis.
Oh.
But, I mean, he had the ability to, Ray Lewis impacted the game more than just
he was
tackles
awesome.
towards the line of scrimmage. His sacks, interceptions.
Yeah, all of it.
Everything.
Big hits.
Coming along with it. All right, Dylan, why don't we take him around the National Football League?
Now, Gems Around the NFL. Brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jack's Beach.
All right, just a couple of brief items here, Tommy. Came out yesterday through Najee Harris's agent that he suffered an eye injury in a July 4th fireworks incident. Pro Football Talk said last night after the news broke that there had been a rumor over the last several days that he had lost an eye. And that wasn't the case. His agent said it's superficial. He's fully expected to be ready for the upcoming NFL season. I don't know how to interpret that. If that means he's going to be ready for training camp or at some point along the line or what it was. And you were telling me you heard one of his friends in that incident lost some fingers.
Or a person in that incident. Yeah. The 3 fingers were taken off.
Crazy.
Partial. Yeah.
Again, you would think if anybody, NFL players should be aware after Jason Pierre-Paul has hands blown apart. So we'll see how that works out for Najee Harris.
Like
Marion
C4?
Hampton,
What are
of
they
course, their first-round pick this year.
Yeah.
And then Washington will wear its alternate Super Bowl-era uniforms on Sunday Night Football versus Seattle and on Sunday Night Football versus Denver. Also on Christmas Day versus Dallas. And fans are beside themselves because who doesn't love throwback uniforms, Denmark?
Right, and you also, the news came out the other day that the Saints are wearing the white helmets. They didn't say when, but they're going to wear those at some point. Still no news on the Prowler uniforms yet. So remember we had Vaselli on?
Yep.
Whenever that was, about a month or so ago, saying that the Jags can wear it up to 4 times this year.
Yeah, and I think you'll be happy, I think he said something like that.
Yeah,
right?
So we would expect, they wore it twice last year against the Colts and the Jets, both at home. It was the teal Prowler uniforms.
Okay.
So if you had to choose, what games would you want them to wear the Prowler uniforms this season? I think number one, easy for me, the Monday night game against the Chiefs.
Without a doubt.
That would be
you gotta.
awesome.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. I would say number 2, or at least one I would consider, on the road versus Houston. They can shove that battle red right up wherever battle red comes from.
Good
all right?
one,
All right. And you want to go battle red?
Yeah.
Buddy, you don't have anything better than what we've got right here. And let's not be afraid to put our chest out there. If we want to be the kings of the AFC South, we're going to come into your house and we're going to smack you around, and we're going to do it looking fantastic. So I'll throw that one on
Lions
there.
do it, Mike. They go kill the king, and then they become king.
What else you got, Tommy?
As far as
any other game that stands out to you? I don't know. I mean, I'd like to see him kind of wear it against the Rams, but I don't know if I want him to do it in London.
No,
like, let's save it for the home fans over here.
What about Denver going a Mile High?
Oh, that would be
Go
good.
back in
Yeah,
memory.
that would be a good one.
That would be
Listen,
good, right?
I loved our away uniforms back then. I guess they're still Prowlers, right? But
yeah.
They're just the whites with the black. Oh, we look sharp in those, man. I love those. And we beat Denver in those. So maybe we wear the throwback away unis when we go to Denver.
I want him to do it, but I don't know how many road games I'd want him to wear it at. You know what I mean? Like, although, I don't know. I kind of feel like that's something that hypes up the home fans to see their guys in there. So, regardless, if you have other than the Monday night game, which I think is the obvious one, right? You definitely want to on national display. You're at home against the Chiefs. All right.
That's right.
Let's bring back some good vibes with these Prowlers and get after them.
Someone smashed Kelsey right in the face.
Beautiful.
That's what I'm talking
I'm
about.
all about it.
I want some physicality. You
know what?
I want a Campanile lady to be like, listen, punch him in the face, and then we'll take the penalty.
I was so happy, because
get him out of the game.
He made that comment about, and I don't really fault him for doing it. He was asked about it. Yeah. He's like, well, I think people are going to try to run him ragged, right? But, and I forget who made a count. It's Eric Mangini. I saw a piece that Shipley did over at SI. And he's like, what? So if he's covering Jamar Chase, you're going to tell Jamar Chase to run wind sprints all day? Are you kidding me? Like, that's stupid. You don't know who he's going to be covering when you break the huddle. So, Travis Hunter's on me. I'm going deep. The play's different now. Like, it in theory sounds good, way more complicated than that. But I don't doubt there will be occasions when they're like, all right, we're going to maybe send everybody deep. Let's see if he can.
And they're going to test them. They test every corner, don't they?
Especially on a quick change scenario. You get a turnover, you're right back on the field.
Right.
Boom.
Go after them.
Swing on the other side, see what happens. But, hey, this is what the Jaguars have willingly dove into. This scenario where, yes, there are going to be people trying to take advantage of what you're doing as an kind of an unprecedented act.
And we're talking about conditioning, wind, right? Running. Well, let's not forget corner. You got to be physical, too. You're going to have to make some tackles. That's where the wear and tear could really start happening.
That worries me more than the condition.
You know what I mean? Yeah, he's a young kid. He can run for days.
Now, I get it. It's not as humid in Colorado, but we're also not at a mile-high altitude.
That's right.
Right? So I kind of feel like that balances out. I'm no scientist, Tom. You may be surprised to learn. Yeah. But anyway, all right. We got to hit a break. We'll come back. Tank Bigsby.
Yep.
Brian Thomas Jr. Thoughts on that duo when we come back with Tommy Mack. If you want to get in, 64110 on the check, 6411010, on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Choose your social channel. Twitter at 1010XL, Facebook at 1010XL, Instagram at 1010XL, TikTok at 1010XL, YouTube at 1010XL. 1010XL is there.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Hey, it's Frank Frangie. Look, when it comes to glass needs around the home, there's one name I trust, Lee and Kate's. It's local, family-owned, and they've been part of our community since 1926. They've taken great care of me over the years, and I know they'll do the same for you. Visit leeandkatesglass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Firehouse Subs has fries. Your hometown hero since 94 just cranked up the heat. Hot subs, crispy fries, golden, pillowy on the inside, and perfectly seasoned. Over 30 Jacksonville locations. Firehouse Subs, homegrown and now with fries.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron, totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens, also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings, and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
1010XL is a proud supporter of this year's Circle K Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament, the largest fundraiser for marine charities. To join the fun July 10th through 19th at the Jim King Park and Boat Ramp, go to kingfishtournament.com.
Hey, Hicken here, or just call me Dreamfinders Danny. For a limited time to ring in the new year, Dreamfinders Homes is offering an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down that rate and get in the game. You heard me right. It's 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, buddy. Why so glum?
Stinky ice cubes, Jason. It's all downhill from here.
What?
The tap water in my place smells kind of funky. Funky tap water makes funky ice cubes. I meet a nice girl, invite her back to my place for a cocktail, and blow my whole romantic gesture with a mojito that smells like dog's feet.
Wait, I can totally make you way cooler.
I'm not taking your charity ice cubes, Jason. I have my pride.
Your pride is safe. Our plumbers can be at your house the day you call and install a whole home water purification system. Water tastes better, dishes come out cleaner, even your hair feels better after you shower.
Ooh, the ladies love a man with soft hair, don't they, Jason?
Life moves pretty fast. If you spend every day worried about the water in your own home, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Sometimes you agree with him, sometimes you don't.
On the runway, I'm coming in hot.
CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Crisco joins the Frangie Show Friday afternoons on 1010XL. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
Yo, E.T. here, and I need you to beat the heat this summer with cool escapes and non-stop fun in Clay County. Tackle indoor adventures head on. Throw axes at Live by Axe or smash your stress away at Just Smash That. Then kick back with drinks, good food, and fandom vibes at Nakama Anime Bar or Leaderboard Arcade and Bar. Whether you're blowing off steam or just looking to chill, Clay County got your perfect indoor getaway. Find your cool at exploreclay.com. That's exploreclay.com.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. As temperatures warm up around us, ants come out in droves. And when they move into your home or business, it's unnerving. Terminix knows that ants add up fast, but Terminix subtracts them faster because living with ants isn't any fun. When ants show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with an ant problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com.
Summertime is busy with graduation parties, summer barbecues, festivities, family gatherings. The month of July, National Carpet Cleaning Month. So Zero Res is offering $45 per room of carpet clean and 20% off air duct cleaning services as well. Schedule your appointment at ZeroResJacksonville.com or call them 287-5727 and ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spelled backwards or forwards, it spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
If life blindsided you tomorrow, would your family struggle? I'm Cody with Harborstone Financial, and I can help. One call could protect your family for life. 904-885-9566. Harborstone Financial.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. He's number 55.
Tom McManus.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service on 1010XL.
Oh, we are motoring along here. Helmets and Heels at the top of the hour. We talked about it at the top of the show, Tommy. You'll be joining the lineup next week on a 5-day-a-week basis. Doesn't mean you're leaving us here behind at Jaguars Today.
That's right.
I look forward to seeing you in that new headset at some point in the near future,
investing,
though.
baby. I'm going to invest.
But Helmets and Heels flip-flopping with XL Primetime next Monday on the dial. I'm sure the ladies have talked about it. They'll talk more about it today.
Yep.
I know you're going to stick around. I am. To kind of Helmets and Heels it in. Debut.
Our pilot episode.
Right on. Later on today. So got a lot cooking around these parts. Always do. Always do.
No doubt.
All right. I think we'll go to the lines here. We got Darren on the line. Then we're going to get into Bigsby and Brian Thomas Jr. a little bit. Darren, good morning. You're on Jaguars Today. What's on your mind, bud?
Hey, guys. I was listening to y'all's conversation, and I really believe this team overall is, and I know you are what your record says you are, but, I believe there was more distension in the locker room than what we probably were led on to believe the last year. And I believe a new coaching staff and just the new vibe coming in, because I went back and watched a lot of Trevor's passes and a lot of completions that he had to Brenton Strange. And I think Strange is going to take a huge step forward this year. I think he really has to. But, I look back, Christian Kurt was hurt. And even with all that, we still had all those one-score games that we were super close and competitive in. And we wasn't getting the job done. So I really believe this new coaching staff, and being a younger group of guys, Trevor's going to be looking forward to that. I really believe this group of talented guys is we're going to make some noise this year. So I don't think 10-7 is out of the rim by no stretch of the imagination. And anyway, I'll hang up and listen, guys. Enjoy the show.
I appreciate it. I mean, look,
anything could happen.
Right. We hope that's the scenario. But at the same time, if we look and go, well, we lost all these one-score games. Maybe you start losing two-score games. Right? I mean, you know what I mean? Right. It doesn't always go in the direction you want it to. Now, you would think that would revert a little bit back to the mean. Most teams don't lose 10 games by one score or less.
Right. Well, the good teams or less, win most of those, right?
Absolutely.
They just win them. They find ways to win. We found ways to lose them. I mean, our defense gave up how many leads? It was ridiculous. They were terrible. And how would they do it? Blown coverage. You know what I mean? Like, just biggest part of the game, and you forget your coverage. It's like, how does that happen? And not just week 1, but all the way till like week 15, 16. That's how they were losing these games. So I think that, well, we're one score. That gives you a little solace, okay, it makes me feel a little bit better. But in reality, I mean, most games are close, especially with good teams. And then the ones that got it all together, get a little luck, a little, that on their side, they end up winning. We got to be one of those teams. I don't think 10-7. I had them actually at 10. I was going through. I think it's going to be closer to 8. I'd be happy if they doubled their win total, depending on how we finish. If we finish strong and we don't make the playoffs, and it's a good record, like a 500, it's going to be a successful year. I want way more than that.
Sure.
But I will take that. It's my
You
bottom.
want it trending. You don't want, and what you don't want to start 8-2 and then collapse and go 8-9.
No, exactly.
Exactly. We'll take 8-2, but then let's win at least 3 more.
We've seen that before
along the way. Absolutely.
Right? I mean,
so
we were there
in 2023.
Right.
No question.
We were right there.
We're playing for the number 1 seed.
But I do think, look, I think at the end they all checked out. I think players, coaches, I think they were just done. They knew it was over. Doug knew the writing on the wall. I think that, whatever. You do what you do. But I do think this new regime is all about accountability. And, they're saying as such. And I think the way Liam calls out his players, calls out whatever you want to quote unquote. I don't care. When he says Tuten put the ball on the ground, Anton will do what he will. Trevor's got to fix his footwork. I'm good with that. He's holding them accountable. And I don't think that was the case last year.
All right, Tommy, let's get to BTJ, Brian Thomas. Okay. In the context of ESPN's doing their top 10 rankings by position.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Defensive ends came in 15th and 18th, and they're pretty good unit, at least compared to the rest of the talent on this team.
Yep.
Our greatest hope beyond the specialists on special teams, right, which are phenomenal.
The best in the league.
I think it is, right? The best trio in the league.
Yeah, for sure.
Certainly, you got the All-Pro long snapper, Pro Bowl punter, and Cam Little was phenomenal last year. Boy, 72-yard. You see that one on social media the other day?
I did. That's
no rush, and I get it. But you got the capability of booming it. All right, so we think Brian Thomas Jr. has the best chance to finish in the top 10. Do you think he finishes in the top 10?
Yes, I do.
You do.
And I know the list is tough.
It's tough,
How's he going to break into it? But, man, if he has another year like last year or even a little bit better, I mean, he's one of the top receivers in the game.
But here's the thing. That list is coming out next week. There's no extra year to factor in.
Right.
Right now, have they voted Brian Thomas a top 10 receiver in the league? I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I think he'll be an honorable mention guy. Here,
okay.
Listen to this list.
Yeah, let's hear the list.
Jamar Chase is going to be on there.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson's going to be on there.
Totally.
CeeDee Lamb going to be on there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about Puka Nacua?
Yeah.
Okay. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
Okay, there's 5. Nico Collins. Before he got hurt, he was leading the league in receiving.
No, I know.
And again, this is not our opinion.
No, I know.
This is all right. So there's a possibility, right?
Yeah.
We got 5 locks. What about Malik Neighbors? And I understand you put Brian Thomas's numbers up against him. I think the perception is Malik Neighbors is a better player than Brian Thomas. I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
But
I would put BT in there before.
You would, but do you think that scouts and front office people?
Giants. He's New York Giant, right?
Yep.
Yeah. No, he'll get in.
All right. So you got 5 in. You got Nico. You got Neighbors. What about AJ Brown?
Yeah.
AJ Brown's ahead of him, right? There is 6 definites. What about maybe not at this point with Tyreek Hill? What about Mike Evans? Mike going to be in there. What about Devontae Adams?
They'll have Devontae.
They'll have Devontae. There's 8,
just
right? So there's 8. So there's 2 spots left with the 8, and we've got Nico Collins and Malik Neighbors as possibilities. Garrett Wilson?
No.
Okay. Jackson Smith and Jigba had a big year last year. I'm just saying, I just think there are DK Metcalf, Cortland Sutton. Again, would I put Brian Thomas in the top 10? Absolutely. I think he's probably right now fairly around 7 or 8. Okay. My guess is he's going to be in the honorable mention category.
Okay.
Not that it matters.
No,
right? I mean, the reality is he'll produce what he produces no matter what anybody says his number is.
All right, flip it around. Out of that list, who would you take right now instead of Brian Thomas Jr.? You'd have to swap them.
I'd take Jamar Chase.
Okay.
I'd take Justin Jefferson.
Okay.
For right now, at this moment, for 2025, I'd take CeeDee Lamb.
Okay.
I'd take Puka. Although that's closer.
It
is closer. But Puka's when you watch him, the eyeball, he's such a physical beast.
Yep.
It depends on what I'm looking for. Amon-Ra St. Brown's such a great route runner technician. He's not a blow the top off the defense kind of guy.
Right. He's more of a slot.
Me, because he's a Texan, hell yeah, I'm taking Brian Thomas over Nico Collins. But I think they're very similar type players in terms of ability, production. I take A.J. Brown over him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, I would.
Right now.
Yeah.
I mean, Malik Neighbors is a coin flip, so I'll take our guy. Right. I don't know if there are many more. I mean, Mike Evans for 1 year, but it really has to be for 1 year, right? I mean, clearly Brian Thomas has a lot of runway out in front of him right now. I think Devontae Adams, properly motivated for 1 year, is in that conversation, right? I think he is. I think you're going to see a big year with him with Stafford out there in Los Angeles, especially with Nakua on the other side, and they're helping each other out. But I don't know, probably 6-ish automatics.
Okay.
But I would say Chase, Jefferson, Lamb, A.J. Brown, for me, for sure, ahead of Brian Thomas at the moment. But maybe
Tyreek?
not at the moment. I mean, I think Tyreek's going to have a bounce back year because he's showing you he's healthy. The speed's still there. He did play with a broken thumb last year. But I think, Tyreek's phenomenal. We saw it, 80-yard touchdown. He's still got the Jets. I would rather have Brian Thomas than Tyreek Hill. But part of it is I can't escape the idea that Brian Thomas is so young and there's so many years ahead of him. So for one season, I mean, you can make a case for either one, I think. But I don't think there's a clear cut you would have to go against Brian Thomas other than maybe those 5.
I will say you don't hear a lot. I don't think Brian Thomas gets enough. You think of the year last year. Didn't start going until late, not right away.
Correct.
And 2 different quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And he still produced ridiculous. I mean, 82 catches.
Did you see the stat? You probably did. Warren Sharp put out there. Percentage of incompletions due to a bad pass by the quarterback. And Mac Jones was like 48% of his incompletions because he threw it off target. I mean, it was terrible. By far the worst number in the National Football League. 48, like half of the incompletions were they just missed you.
Right.
So BTJ was still putting up 10 target games with high production in that atmosphere. I'm not saying he has to take a backseat to many. But there is an elite tier now that's ahead of him.
But he could be in that argument with another.
He's more likely to be considered a top 5 receiver at some point in his career than Trevor as a quarterback.
Oh, without question.
Right?
I think so.
He's bumping up against it now. He's in that neighborhood. All right, we come back. We'll thought on Tank Bigsby.
Okay.
What Frank Franchi had to say. Frank, yesterday, if you missed it, considers Bigsby the starter today.
Wow.
First day of training camp. What does Tom McManus think about that? We'll do that and take a look at today's Chad and Sandy real estate poll question, which we haven't really focused on today. Which is the most likely of these scenarios to happen this year? Dyami Brown outproduces Hunter in yardage, Travis Hunter. Basil Tuten has the most rushing yards on the team. The defense has 18 or more turnovers, which would double their total, or 3 players have 10 or more sacks. We'll check in on that poll before we close up shop today as well. With Tom McManus and Dylan Denmark, I'm Mike Dempsey. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Now, 1010XL takes you inside the program director's office with Dan and Jeff.
The time has come to make a choice.
Mornings
But I want you to know that I'm not a complete brain case, okay?
on 1010XL.
Call 904-500-COOL. Ideal Conditions.
Want to support a locally and veteran-owned company? If you need a new AC, we should be your first and only call. Ideal Conditions keeps you cool. Just gas your AC. Call 904-500-COOL or visit idealconditionsjacks.com.
Call 904-500-COOL.
Honk if you see us. Call for service.
Ideal Conditions.
Idealconditionsjacks.com.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Hey, Jacksonville, need a fence and ready to save? At Superior Fence and Rail, you'll lock in 5% off your fence project when you sign by the end of July. A limited time offer for savings and peace of mind this summer. Now accepting appointments for a free estimate. So act fast and get 5% off your entire fence project when you finalize by July 31st. Cannot be combined with other offers. New contracts only.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Underwood has completed 75 years in business, and now you are starting your next 75 years. If you were going to simplify things, what is the single most important thing in Underwood's history, and what will be the most important thing in your future?
Frank, that's simple. Our honesty and integrity. You know, our founder, H.F. Underwood's favorite saying was, know the truth and tell the truth. That's why we're the longest standing member of the American Gem Society in Florida. Because we know you have to have the knowledge about gemstones before you can tell the truth about them. That's why we continue to educate our staff through the Gemological Institute of America and the American Gem Society. In fact, today, Underwoods has the largest American Gem Society credentialed staff of professionals east of the Mississippi River. So come by and see why we're looking forward to the next 75 years and let one of our experts assist you.
That's at Underwoods, serving excellence since 1928. In San Marco, Avondale, the shops of Ponte Vedra, Underwood Jewelers.
Sun's out. Deals on at Hurricane Grill and Wings. Enjoy summer eats like the Yingling beer batter fish sandwich, chicken salad lettuce wraps, and wings and tenders combo basket. All for under $14. Add 3 bone-in wings for just $3.49. And sip a peach cocktail or Michelob Ultra. HurricaneWings.com.
I'm Hammer and Hayes Carline, and I've been known to drop an opinion like a 2-ton hammer. Weekdays on The Frangie Show.
Hammer Time with Hayes on 1010XL, driven by Kia on Atlantic. Check us out at KiaOnAtlantic.com.
Football season is almost here, so before it arrives, I'm going to get my home organized. Lauren Brooks here. Closets by Design creates custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms or entertainment centers. Anywhere that needs to be organized. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off with free installation. Yes, that's 40% off plus an additional 15% off during the month of July. Call 878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
It's hurricane season. Protect your home with 904 Gutters with a Z. That's right. Z as in zone defense for your home. Water damage hits hard. 904 Gutters with a Z hits back harder. Search 904 Gutters with a Z and make the right call.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, letting you know that Hardball now offers web stores, so your employees can order their own branded gear, and you have more time for Wordle. Check it out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Are you ready to play this summer? At the First Coast YMCA, we're committed to being your home for health and wellness and a place for friendly competition with team sports for adults and for kids. Basketball, volleyball, pickleball, flag football, soccer. The Y has something for everyone at any age. Discover all the benefits of YMCA membership and find your fun this summer at the Y. Registration for team sports and summer camps is open now. Visit fcymca.org.
I-9 Sports covers the First Coast with all kinds of sports for kids ages 3 to 17. Fall and winter registration is open right now, like girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows, plus plenty of co-ed programs in the Tri-County area to keep your kids active. And being part of a team creates great camaraderie and commitment. Year-round sports all across the First Coast. St. John's, Duval, and Clay, sign up now for the fall and winter. It's all at i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount. That's i9sports.com.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
Twin, we better bring some of that Donovan air out to Palm Coast tomorrow.
Man,
I have a feeling.
there you go.
Because the broiler is in full effect.
Yeah,
it's cooking
right now.
I cut the front yard yesterday.
Did you?
And then
God
the rain
bless
came.
you.
I'm going to cut the backyard today.
Yeah.
It's hot out there, man.
It's a beastly task.
It is.
Getting after that lawn right now. But it is what it is. I'm going to go home. Get about 9,000 steps in around the neighborhood. That's what it's been working out for me.
Nice.
Basically, my little routine. Get about 9,000 in, and I wear a couple of layers because I'm an idiot. Because I like to sweat it off, baby. I come back and you could just wring out every article I'm wearing.
For sure.
It's
Especially
insane.
after a week in Chicago. Trust me. I had to wring out a lot.
Well, there you go. Dad Bods coming up?
Next Sunday, out on the deck at Pete's Bar in Neptune Beach, man. Iconic place. Been there forever. I've been going there for 30 years.
You think?
Yeah, man. That place is awesome.
I've heard a few stories of your time.
Oh, yeah. But we'll be out on the deck July 20th. It's a Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m., man. We're going to rock it out as the sun goes down. Going to be fun.
All right, let's get into a few more Jaguar-related topics here in the final 10 minutes. Beginning with Tank Bigsby. Frank Frangie, voice of your Jags, on yesterday. And look, I'm kind of in the back of my mind, I think Basil Tuten is going to emerge as the guy with this team, okay? I think without the trade up for Travis Hunter, they draft Ashton Genty, okay? We found out after the draft that when R.J. Harvey came off the board along with Ashton Galati, the pass rusher out of Louisville, that's when they moved out of pick 70. They would have taken R.J. Harvey with pick 70.
Really?
Okay.
Okay.
Basil Tuten's a guy that James Gladstone talked up before the draft.
Right.
Okay. They were clearly looking to push that room, right? And then they didn't stop there. They added Kent Allen in the 7th round.
Yep.
So already I feel like the writing's on the wall for a guy in Travis Etienne who's been under 4 yards a carry for back-to-back years, playing on the 5th-year option. He's not their guy. But go through the summer, it looks to me like he'll get the first opportunity. So I think of Travis Etienne at the moment as the starter, but it's your job to hold. So Frank Frangie said, no, I think Tank Bigsby's the guy.
Yep.
And you heard it. I asked him yesterday, first snap at training camp, you think Bigsby's the guy on the field? He said, yes, I do. What do you make of that, Tom?
Wow, that's interesting. If Tank didn't put the ball on the ground, he'd be our workhorse, right? I mean, Tuten still may be there.
Almost a full yard of carry better than Etienne.
He sees the field really well. He cuts really well. He looked really good going into camp last year. I mean, he looked good all year, except when you put the ball on the
fumbles,
ground.
I think?
4 and three he recovered, or we recovered.
Right. Etienne had the one, but it was a crippler.
Crushing
right?
one,
But that
no
was
doubt.
the only time he fumbled all year, but he also didn't. You can live with a couple of fumbles here. If you got a guy running for 1,500 yards,
right?
Etienne didn't run for 600 yards.
No, I know.
last year.
I know. And you go back to Tuten, he's got that issue, or at least some of that issue of putting the ball on the ground, did at college. So I think Etienne takes the first snap because I think he's the insurance policy right now. If those two guys, though, can show that they can be counted on to carry the ball and pick up the blitzer.
Right.
Because Tank's not very good at that. He's got to get better at that. We don't know about Tuten. They say LeKint is a beast at it. He loves the contact. And Etienne's okay. He's not terrible, but he's not great.
Because LeKint Allen's got some skinny legs, man.
Yeah.
But he'll stick his nose in there.
They say he's a tough dude. He likes the contact and all that. So I think Etienne takes it, but they're thinking, look, maybe we still keep him, just in case. But they want the speed. They want the breakaway. They want the guys that can take it to the house without putting the ball on the ground. So I think Etienne starts it with the idea that one of those two guys, Tank or Bashul, is going to emerge and be the workhorse.
I don't know if he takes it, but I think at the moment part of it's respect of incumbency and veteran status and all that.
Yeah, there's something to that.
I think he gets the first snap. And I've said many times, I can envision Tuten being the leading rusher, Bigsby being the leading touchdown scorer, Etienne being the leading receiver out of the backfield.
Right.
But if what you said, if they show they can hang on to the football, pass protect, okay, I think they can run, okay? It's the other two things. If they're confident in what they see in the preseason and some team has an injury, I think they'd be open to listening to offers for ETN.
Yep.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to cut him because you got to pay him. Right. Just to cut him outright because you're paying him regardless. It's guaranteed money. Anyway, that's that. I did think that was interesting.
And he's tight with Trevor. This year's all about Trevor.
No doubt.
It's all about making sure Trevor's good.
Look, I'm not making any kind of declarative statement that ETN's not on this football team. And in fact, I'm with you. I think he gets the first rep, but
I think so.
Frank may be right. We'll find out.
Yeah, whatever.
In less than 2 weeks. All right, so why don't we fire up today's 10-10 take? Dylan.
10-10.
10-10 take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take is serviced by Ideal Conditions Heating and Air, your go-to local HVAC company, veteran owned and operated.
I'll give you the poll results in a moment, but let's give our thought on this. The 4 options we asked you today, which of these scenarios is most likely to happen? Option 1, Dyami Brown has more receiving yards than Travis Hunter. Option 2, Basil Tuten has the most rushing yards on the team. Option 3, the defense produces 18 or more turnovers. That number is selected because it would be double what they did last year. And option 4 is 3 players on the team will have at least 10 sacks each. Tom, my heart is with Tuten, but my head, if I'm in Vegas and I'm at the window on this one, I'm going defense has 18-plus turnovers, okay? It is double, right? But 18 is not this stratospheric number.
No,
all right?
Not at all.
Only 13 teams had fewer than that last year, right? So you're talking about the majority of the league is at 18 or higher. You run into a game where you face a shaky quarterback. You might get 3 picks and a fumble recovery in that game right there. I just think that is one that is the most likely to happen. For me, that's where my vote would go. I think the first 3 are all possible. I would be shocked if we end up with 3 players with 10-plus sacks. I mean, Eric Armstead's done it once in his career.
Yeah.
Agba is more of a 5 to 6 sack guy. You know, I could see 2 for sure. The obvious guys, but that I don't see them getting to that third guy. How do you vote?
I was going to go that too. The defense gets the 18 because number 1, you heard it all off season when they were out there. Campanile, the defense coordinator, screaming, "Get the ball out! Get the ball out!" There's an emphasis of punching the ball, and we've seen that how that can work. You know, you get that ball out and you focus on that. That can create a lot of turnovers. So I think that's going to be it. The least is the 10 sacks, in my opinion. Now, I think Dyami Brown does have a chance to have more yards.
I do too.
Than Travis Hunter because I think he's going to be. I don't know. I said it earlier in the offseason. I think Dyami Brown and Emmanuel Agba are going to be the 2 best signings this year. I think they're going to just be. What's that?
McCarry.
Yeah, I want to see him get after it, man.
Yeah,
that's going to be fun. But yeah, I just think that Dyami Brown. Look, he's got tremendous speed. I think they're going to use him. I want to see the triple-headed monster with Hunter, with BT, and with him. I think that's tough to defend. Especially if you get that slot one-on-one, with that kind of speed. That's very tough to defend. So, yeah, I think Dyami could. So that would be number 2 for me. I go defense getting the 18, Dyami 2, the back 3, and then 10 sacks 4.
Young Twin, where are you at on this?
Yeah, I'm the same with T-Mac. I mean, averaging 1 turnover a game doesn't seem like it's that far-fetched. On the off chance that Travis Hunter does play, insanely amount on offense and be productive and not get hurt, I feel like that's a better chance, of topping Dyami Brown. So I would say that's 2. And then, having 10 guys or 3 guys with 10 sacks is a little too much.
Yeah, I mean, look, maybe it's Gardeck. Who knows? I mean, that he's a kind of a pass rush specialist. We're here for it.
Yeah.
Just don't think it's super likely. Philly a couple years ago had 4 guys with 10 sacks, which is unprecedented at that point. Here right now are the current up-to-the-moment results. Dyami Brown getting more yards than Hunter, leading the way. 34.6% going with that. Defense with 18 or more turnovers going with 31.5%. 17% say Tuten will have the most rushing yards, and then just under that, 3 players with 10-plus sacks. I think that is 17% of people going with that. 16.8. I think that's way too high. But, hey, hope springs eternal.
That's right.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and if you're I think they're going to be a very active D-line. I do think Armstead's going to be in that 7-8 range. And I think Ogba's going to be like you said. And I think the boys outside are going to have double digits. I think we're going to have a really good defensive line this year.
How about one Lombardi? Can we get forget all these other numbers? Just one Lombardi.
We only need one.
All right, Tom, my week is just about done.
How about you,
but let's class up the joint with one of your newest co-hosts.
How about it?
Coming up right now.
All right.
Now, the 2-minute drill on 1010XL.
Hi, LB.
Hi, Mike Dempsey.
How are you?
Hi, Dylan Denmark.
How are things?
I mean, it's Friday, so that means it's great.
How would you describe the print you're wearing today?
Leopard print
Leopard
in honor
print,
of our
okay.
Jacksonville Jaguars. But they don't say Jaguar print, they say leopard print. Why is that?
I don't know. It's like that little emoji that you can do. It's always the leopard. Like if you hover over it.
If you type Jaguar, it comes
Does
up.
it?
Yeah. But for some reason we don't say Jaguar print.
I think we need to change that.
I'm bringing up my
I'm gonna change it
emojis
from
right
now.
now. And
Start a
see
trend.
What comes up.
Start a
Jaguar, no results found.
So maybe that's Twitter.
Maybe it is Twitter.
Comparison to like if I start to text you now, a Jaguar, it pops up right away.
Yeah. Well, and that is different though than the leopard. I think.
Right, that is a Jaguar.
It is a Jaguar,
yeah,
right.
But why doesn't Twitter have a Jaguar?
You should text me more often. Thank you for the text. I appreciate that.
I'll text you every day next week when you're on vacation.
And I will ignore you. And that'll be fine. You're welcome too.
You get what you ask for.
You know what? The only reason my phone's going to be in my hand is to check in on my fantasy draft for the next 9 days or so.
That's still work related. You got to do it Sexton did. Just shut your phone off for an entire week.
No, I can't. Yeah. Then I'll get auto picked. Are you kidding me?
Right.
I've got 12 going right now.
My gosh.
That is not happening. Apparently, McManus is going to hang around for a while today, huh?
He is. Yeah, we got some Jaguars business to discuss.
That's right. And well, now that Tom's here, I know I talked about it a little bit with Taylor yesterday. Exciting things for Helmets and Heels beginning next week, right?
Absolutely. Look, we are honored to have a show, obviously, on this radio station, and now we're even more excited to have a show with Tom, a former, obviously, Jaguars player, football player. We like to think that we know a ton about football, X's and O's wise, but obviously he knows more. So we're going to combine our three brains, RJ included, and we're going to have a blast.
All right. Well, I have no helmets, and I've never worn heels, so I would not fit in.
Tom, have you ever worn heels?
No.
Okay.
I don't think
Not even in your many stage
That's why I was
appearances?
asking.
No, I don't think
Gaston is going in flats.
Gaston in heels. That'd be an interesting one.
All right.
Maybe at Hamburger Mary's or something.
LB, have a
there we
great
go.
show today. Have
Thank
a
you so much.
great next 9 days, and we'll all reconvene for training camp. Can't wait.
Yes, enjoy your time off. I know you'll be tuned in to all of the SEC Media Days coverage next week because it's one of your favorite things.
No, I won't. But I will tune in. Whenever you and Taylor and Tom are talking, I will have an alert on my phone.
There you go. There you go.
2 to 4 p.m., everybody, Eastern. 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern.
Ship flipping with XL Primetime. That's all that's happening there. XL Primetime.
They demanded their lunch hours back. We gave it to them.
All right. There you go. LB, have a great show today.
Thank you so much.
Great,
you have a great week off.
Debut week. I will have a great week off.
Yeah, man.
Tommy Mack, enjoy the weekend coming
Absolutely.
up. Dad Bod's performance before I see you again, I guess.
That's right.
Week
from Sunday.
Enjoy Helmets and Heels. And, of course,
man.
you'll be back next Friday with Tony Smith.
That's
here
right.
In the studio.
The train keeps rolling.
Twin, I'll see you tomorrow. Yep. West Side all day. Don't I get a little golf in on the vacation? He can't escape me.
Oh.
It's not mandatory. Trust me. All right. That'll do it. Hope everybody has a great week. Look forward to you'll be hearing Duval Ford as one of our new sponsors here on Jaguars Today. Yep. Super excited about them coming on board. So everybody be safe. I'll see you out there at training camp, and I'll talk to you in 10-ish days right here on Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Right down the